Politics is about getting access to power to make a positive difference. I'm Ruth McGowan. I'm part of the Pathways to Politics alumni, and I'm author of Get Elected, a step-by-step campaign guide to winning public office. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm passionate about politics because we need women at every level of government making those decisions that are going to benefit our communities and our states and, of course, our nation. I want to help women just like you understand what it takes to plan an election campaign, how to be on the campaign trail, and how to get elected. I have a background in local government, having twice been elected to Shire Council, including a term as mayor. I also helped coordinate my sister Ruth McGowan's successful independent campaign for the federal seat of Indi. It was an amazing experience to complete the Pathways to Politics program at the University of Melbourne in 2017, where I learned about the theory and practice of politics. Afterwards, I was inspired to research a little bit more about the practical aspects of planning and delivering a campaign. My book, Get Elected, a step-by-step campaign guide to winning public office, was written for women just like you to show you how you can get into politics. I'm grateful to be a part of the Pathways to Politics community, but now it's my turn to give back, which is why I'm making my book, Get Elected, free as a downloadable PDF on the Pathways to Politics website. Now, women who are keen to get into politics can download a free copy of Get Elected and learn exactly what it takes, step by step, to plan and deliver a winning campaign for public office. I'm going to summarise the key takeaways of Get Elected from the very beginning, making the decision to run, then planning your campaign, hitting the campaign trail, that's when the rubber hits the road, right through to election day and beyond. I will show you exactly what you need to do to get elected. Step 1, decide. You're here because you're curious about politics. Is it for you? Politics isn't for everyone, but you have to make the decision whether you're ready to run for politics or not. And let me tell you, this is often the hardest decision candidates have to make. The first step is to get clarity on your why, what, who, where, and when. Firstly, why? Why do you want to run? What is the difference you want to make in the world? And use that why to guide you throughout your campaign and indeed as a politician. Let it be your compass. Secondly, what? What are the implications if you do stand for politics? How much is it going to cost you? What are the implications on your career? Maybe on your family life. So consider those implications. Can you do it? The third issue to consider is who. Who will you run with? Will you run with a major party, one of the micros, or will you stand as an independent? These are big considerations. The fourth is where. Where will you stand? Local, state, or federal? And in the state, there's the options of the lower house or the upper house, and federally, the House of Representatives or the Senate. Where will you stand? Lastly, when do you think you will give politics a crack? Now or later? Actually, there's no better time than the present, because we need you at the decision-making tables around our country. If you want to know a little bit more about what the job of being a politician entails, I suggest that you find a politician and ask them if you can sit down and have a coffee with them and see what they do on a day-to-day basis, whether that's your local councillor or a friendly local MP. What level of government do you want to make a change? Is it in your community, local government? Is it across your state, or is it nationally? This can help you decide where you want to stand. Also, you need to check your eligibility as a citizen to nominate. You might also want to think about, do you want to run as an activist to actually change the conversation that's been had around the issues you care about? In the end, the hardest decision to make is whether or not you'll stand. But the first thing you have to do is give yourself the vote. Step 2, plan. A good plan will help you get elected. Putting that campaign infrastructure in place at the beginning is vital. In the second part of Get Elected, we unpack the 8 components to planning a successful campaign. The first of these is positioning yourself against your competitors or the incumbent. The second is putting in place robust processes to manage your campaign. The third aspect is people power. No person is an island. You cannot get elected without a great team. That's including your campaign team and all the volunteers you're going to need. You also need to manage your scarcest resource, time, so you can focus on the things that matter, and that is getting more funds, more support, and of course, more votes. Good communication is essential to any campaign, and I have a special process in Get Elected that you can go through step by step to get clarity on your messages, called the 3x4 tool. Every campaign needs funds, whether it's local, state or federal, and I will show you how to raise funds with some fun examples, as well as how to budget to ensure that you can plan a campaign that's funded all the way through to election day. Of course, you've got to follow the rules. Compliance with the electoral legislation is essential. If you don't do the right thing by the law, you will lose. Step 3, run. With your infrastructure in place, you're probably now campaign fit. So it's time to move from the preparation stage to the tournament, and it's game on. You're ready to run. The rubber's ready to hit the road. Topics covered include setting your campaign goals, how to triage your time to what really matters, preparing and lifting off with the launch, managing dirty tricks, they do happen, and also understanding how preferences can help you get elected. Pre-poll, early voting centres, they're becoming increasingly important. What do you need to do to maximise those votes? Then it's on to election day, and I show you what you need to do as you reach the finish line. But it's not quite over yet. Step 4, next steps. Your campaign is over. You've made it to election day. Congratulations. In the final part of Get Elected, I cover what you need to do to wrap up your campaign. This includes things like thanking your campaign team, perhaps with a party, thanking your donors, supporting your scrutineers, and of course, meeting your financial obligations, which is doing the financial returns. So what happens if you didn't get elected? My suggestion is to take your time to recover, reflect, and refocus on your next attempt. Our first female Prime Minister had 3 cracks before she got elected as a federal representative. Take what you've learned and either stand again or share your knowledge with another woman who's running a campaign. I'm sure she'd really appreciate what you've learned. And if you do get elected, woohoo, good on you, go out and change the world. But don't freak out, because there's going to be a lot of support to help you through training, explaining to you what you need to do as the elected representative, whether that's as a councillor or an MP. There'll be staff and training to guide you through your obligations. Thanks for watching my Get Elected tips. I wrote this book for you. It's full of case studies and exercises and really practical tips, as well as useful links that will help you get elected. Finally, if you care about our community and the future of our nation, there's simply no better way to make things happen than stand for office. Just imagine what you could do with the power that comes with being at the table where the decisions are made. We need equal representation. We need to hear women's voices. Make it happen. Run for office and get elected.